Breaking news from the city's east side, where we're hearing reports of a shooting.
Yeah, it's all unfolding at an apartment on Commerce Street near South Grimes and Mel Walters Way. You can see a heavy police presence there. Obviously, we're continuing to monitor the situation. We have a crew on the scene. As soon as we get more details into exactly what happened here, we'll bring them to you.
They fought like hell. They screamed, they yelled. And
2 brazen attempted abductions right in broad daylight. Now San Antonio police need your eyes because they're looking for that maroon-colored Nissan SUV and a male driver between 18 to 25 years old. These incidents happened over the weekend in the area around Highlands High School.
Yep, the Night Team's Patty Santos talked to witnesses in one of those separate attacks.
He made a sudden stop, and it kind of got my attention.
Flo Morris says she suddenly saw the suspect in this maroon Nissan attempt to put a young woman walking alone in an SUV.
I could see her feet and her fist punching, and it was just too much for him. He couldn't take it.
Another witness nearby says she was also alerted by the screams for help.
Her scream, unfortunately, is still in my mind, and that's definitely something that I can't get rid of at the moment.
It happened around noon this past Friday on the corner of Wales and Killarney Drive.
Leave her alone.
Morris and the other witness threatened the man, yelling him to stop, and called police. But the incident took only seconds and the man drove off. They commend the woman for saving her own life.
It was terrible because I feared for her, because I figured if he was able to drive off with her, we may not see her again.
She fought for her life, and thankfully she won.
But police say the suspect tried again right across from Highlands High School. Just over 24 hours later, he's accused of trying to take a 12-year-old girl at Villarreal and Elgin Avenue.
there was 3 juvenile females that were walking broad daylight, 3:45 in the afternoon, when this individual approached them and attempted to grab one of the girls and force her into the vehicle.
The brazen attacks happened less than 2 miles apart. The suspect is identified as 18 to 25 years old, 5'9" in height and 175 pounds, brown hair and eyes. The vehicle is believed to be a 2009-2010 maroon Nissan Murano.
The community is a big part of this investigation. I think somebody out there may know something as far as they may have seen that vehicle in their neighborhood before.
And police are warning females to really be on alert, to travel in groups and put away the headphones and any other types of distractions when they're out and about. If you have any information that can help police catch up with the suspect, you are urged to call 210-207-2313. Steve, Stefania.
Let's get this guy off the street. Thank you, Patty. Well, scary moments after 2 people were stabbed and police say they were attacked at random. It happened about 4 this afternoon in a neighborhood off Contrell Drive on the south side of town. Officers say they responded to reports of a man with a knife messing with houses and cars along that road. Witnesses told police the man came across a group of people just hanging out. He stabbed 2 of them. Stay with us on air and online for updates on this story.
Now tonight, 1 man is dead after a vehicle hit him. It happened this morning around 6:15 in Schertz on FM 1518 North near a street called Hollering Vine. Police say the man was walking right in the middle of the road and the driver didn't see him until it was too late. The driver did stop to help, so right now that person's not being charged.
A new Uvalde School District Police Chief has been named. Joshua Gutierrez, now officially in the position after being the interim. The school board approved Gutierrez as interim unanimously in November of last year. Here at KSAT, we did an exclusive interview with him back in December. You may remember it. The previous police chief was Pete Arredondo, who's been under major scrutiny for the law enforcement handling of the mass shooting at Robb. Arredondo was eventually fired back in August.
Last night on the Nightbeat, we told you about the failed Bowling for Uvalde World Weekend.
It was supposed to be part of a healing process, supposed to be a music festival to raise money for a rec center in Uvalde. Tonight, we are looking at the man behind that effort, Nathan Cuomo. The Night Team's Lee Waldman's investigation shows Cuomo seems to have a pattern of dishonesty.
Looking at Nathan Cuomo's social media pages, he's a proud former professional athlete.
Nathan was a soccer player and he went on, to play pro soccer with the Houston Dynamo.
But according to a statement from the Major League Soccer organization, quote, Nathan did not play for the team. He might have joined us for a tryout or reserve team, but he did not sign a contract with the team, end quote.
If he didn't play pro ball with the Dynamo, I feel deceived.
I showed Pastor Richard Rodriguez this website that appears to be linked to his school, Christian Life Center Academy. It details the school's soccer program and lists Cuomo as the assistant coach.
The page you showed me a while ago is not our page. That's not on our website as far as I know. But we've never had a soccer team. We don't have one now.
A few days later, Rodriguez called and said their IT team did some digging and found the web page was created in 2013, and he's not sure who made it. While the website is still active, any mention of Cuomo has been removed. Cuomo's social media links to the Baller Foundation. According to Twitter, it's a 501c3 that uses sports to impact health and well-being of youth. We pulled IRS records. Baller Foundation earned its nonprofit status in 2017. It was revoked 3 years later. I wanted to talk with Cuomo about what we found, so we stopped by his office address in Houston.
Nathan Cuomo, Baller Academy. He's not here anymore. We're all here within the last 6 months, and he hasn't been here, so.
Pulling public records, we stopped by Cuomo's last 2 known addresses.
Nathan? Hi. Is there a Nathan Cuomo who lives here? No. Do you know if he used to live here?
No luck, but we aren't the only ones looking for him.
Nathan Baller, Nath.
This man's real name is Nathan Baller. He lives in Minnesota. Years ago, Baller looked himself up on social media and found Nathan Cuomo's pages. Cuomo refers to himself by the last name Baller.
Got a very strange call from a debt collector. Don't have any debts that I'm aware of.
The call came last April or May, but they were looking for the Nathan Baller associated with Baller Academy, Cuomo's organization. Reginald Hardy had the same thing happen to him. His Houston-based nonprofit is also called the Baller Academy. Hardy has known Cuomo for years.
When God took my mother at 3, he gave me this 6th sense. The last time I spoke to him, a hair stood up on me.
Because their organizations share the same name, Hardy started hearing from debt collectors in October. He texted Cuomo about it.
Got a disturbing letter in the mail last week that showed you owing over $14,000 to some sort of management company.
Cuomo responded to Hardy's text message saying he didn't have a management company and didn't know what he was talking about. I sent Cuomo an email asking about Hardy's message, texted him about the Balling for Uvalde World Weekend that never happened, and about the 4,500 tickets he claimed to have sold to it. No response.
Do you believe in karma? Because I do. And it may not get you tomorrow or the next day you do it, but somewhere down the line, it's going to get you.
Tomorrow night on the Nightbeat, you'll hear from several family members of the Robb Elementary victims. Cuomo met them shortly after the tragedy and promised to use the Balling for Uvalde World Weekend to raise the millions needed to build a recreation center dedicated to their loved ones. Back to you.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office really wants to talk to you. It's about its school safety task force. This is after BCSO announced it's going to have an increased presence at 2 area high schools for the rest of the year. The task force is going to patrol in and around Brennan and Southwest high schools. The sheriff says that this goes back to a Brennan student's shooting death in February and other incidents with drugs or threats of gun violence near school campuses.
And speaking of school safety, let's take a look at your Nightbeat news flash. A school shooting, killing one student, injuring another. It all started around 7 this morning at a high school in Arlington, just west of Dallas. Police there say a student opened fire, hitting one male, one female. That male student later died. The female expected to recover. Officers say they do have a suspect in custody who is now charged with capital murder. Classes at the school in Arlington are canceled tomorrow. Police finding the bodies of a man, his wife, and their daughter, who was under the age of 10, all inside their northeast side apartment this morning. Officers say that man shot and killed them before turning the gun on himself. The discovery made at the Winding Creek Apartments on Northwest Military Highway near Wurzbach Parkway. SAPD looking into whether or not there was a history of domestic violence in this family. We're still working to learn the names of those 3 people. Some good news following that scary tree collapse at the San Antonio Zoo last week. Tonight, we can report the little girl who was hurt in that accident improving. She's currently listed in fair condition at the hospital. She was in critical condition right after this happened. A total of 7 people hurt when a massive branch broke off one of the zoo's trees. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Sure didn't take the drizzle long to settle in this evening. It's out there right now. Visibility is being reduced. Temperatures in the 50s and going to remain there all night long. More dampness to talk about and even some real rain chances just around the corner. And we'll talk about the spring-like warmth and when it returns in just a bit.
Sounds good. Thank you, Adam. And tomorrow, the day former President Donald Trump says he expects to be arrested. Why police in New York City are preparing for trouble.
So as you come back, we're going to go back out live to that late breaking news on Commerce Street. That's where police are responding to a shooting incident. When we showed this to you 13 minutes ago, that we really didn't have some information, but that's changed.
Yeah, we have new information. Police telling us it stemmed from an argument between neighbors at this apartment complex. That argument leading to gunfire. One person hit twice in the leg.
We also know that one person is in the hospital and that police have a suspect in custody. So right now, that's all the information that we have, and we're going to continue to stay there on the scene and get more information on this story.
Right now, police in New York City setting up security cameras and barricades as they prepare for protests and unrest over the possible indictment of former President Donald Trump. Trump said he expects to be arrested as early as tomorrow over a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 presidential election. Trump also called on his supporters to protest. The Manhattan DA's office says it will not be intimidated by those calls for protest. If he's indicted, Donald Trump would be the first former president to face criminal charges.
Starting a dialogue with Mexico's president. That's what one Texas lawmaker says a bipartisan group was able to accomplish this weekend. We're talking about U.S. Representative Tony Gonzalez. He was among the 12 U.S. lawmakers who met with President Andrés Manuel López Obrador. They talked about cybersecurity, border security, and the congressman is saying that that was just the beginning.
Part of the homework, if you will, that I asked for was help finding these Americans that are missing. That's one. Two is there's some water disputes along the border, and I'd like to see Mexico release some water in those areas that are important to our farmers.
Now, the congressman called the meeting, quote, an excellent conversation. Okay, so let's ask you this. Do you remember this? This right here, it was about a month ago, right after a dump truck wrecked a pedestrian bridge on Castroville Road, and then it collapsed. Well, now people there can use a temporary crosswalk. The city of San Antonio put it up to help people safely cross that busy street until it rebuilds the Pedro Romero pedestrian bridge. Pedestrians are able now to activate the new signal crossing. It also has flashing yellow and red lights to alert drivers when they need to slow down and also when they need to stop.
Live cam tonight. We talked about how it's definitely getting murky out there. I think maybe that's a good word for what we're seeing right now, Adam.
Yeah, misty, damp, drizzly, add some sprinkles to it. The nuisance moisture, but nothing to really add up to much, unfortunately. There is a Pacific cold front that will hit us by Friday morning, giving us a chance of storms. It's back to 80 degrees by Wednesday. The warming trend starts now. Temperatures are going to hold steady all night long, not drop at all. Humidity is returning. That means the drizzle as well. And this isn't going to be our only round of drizzle. Storm chances, they're back by Friday morning when we could get some real rain. All right, let's take a look outside, and there you have it. This is the picture. Reduced visibility, and that's going to be the case for the morning commute. This isn't the type of activity that shows up on the radar screen, so you can check your KSAT Weather Authority app. You're not going to see anything on there on the radar because this is all below the radar beam. This is that basically surface moisture that's just drizzly and damp, and that's it. Here's our futurecast, and I think it does a good job showing that a few sprinkles will pop up here and there through the night and even the morning commute tomorrow. Don't expect much in terms of actual accumulations, a few hundredths of an inch here and there, but it's going to be damp and cloudy and gray. If you typically go for a long morning walk or bike ride, it's going to be wet. Wet roads, sidewalks, and trails. I do think this activity, the drizzly dampness, will taper off into the afternoon, but it's still going to be fairly cloudy. Temperatures, however, will be a little bit warmer. Now, I know it's not going to be great rain. We'll take all that we can get. You look at the latest drought monitor, and clearly we need a lot of rain, especially around San Antonio. Now, this is our climate zone, if you will. Medina County, Bexar County, northward up I-35, and then eastward. It would take, according to NOAA, it would take about 18 inches of rain before June in order for us to completely get out of the drought. Just nuisance rain the next couple of days. The drizzle and sprinkles tomorrow. We do it again Wednesday morning. We do it all over again Thursday morning. Luckily, we'll have some sunshine, though, those afternoons. And then by Friday morning, the chance of some real rain with some downpours and some thunderstorms, maybe an isolated severe storm. Still a lot of time between now and then. Check back in for updates. We'll keep you posted on the latest. Here's something I want to point out. The wind is now coming off the Gulf of Mexico. So it's that muggy direction for the wind. And that's going to be increasing our humidity gradually through the night and into the day tomorrow. Dew points right now near 50 and in the low 50s, but they're going to be rising ever so slowly. And as those dew points come up, the air saturates even more because that temperature is going to hold steady. Whenever the dew point and the temperature meet, you got 100% relative humidity. That's going to be fog, drizzle, and even some sprinkles all the way through the noon hour tomorrow. And notice you're going to feel the mugginess. Dew points in the lower 60s by the noon hour tomorrow, mid 60s by tomorrow afternoon. So that humidity is coming back, and you're going to feel it for about 3 days here. 56 in the morning, 62 at noon, 70 degrees by the afternoon. So damp, but not the cold damp that we had over the weekend. This is more of a spring-like dampness that we'll have. 72 in Castroville and Divine tomorrow. Canyon Lake 70, Bulverde about 68 the high. Up to 80 degrees on Wednesday, Thursday 83, a little bit breezy as well. Then that cold front hits, but it's a Pacific front, so it's not going to pack a punch with much cooler air. We're just talking about a drop in humidity for Friday through the weekend, and that's going to mean some cooler mornings again. 49 Saturday morning, and this is the time of year we really can't take those for granted because they're numbered this time of year. And by Sunday morning, we're at 54 with highs near 80 this weekend. So nuisance dampness next few days, a shot at some real moisture Friday morning.
I do like the consistent rain chances.
Yes, that's good. It's been a better pattern.
Yeah,
Thanks,
for sure. Thank you. If there's one word that we can use to describe our friend Blake Wesley, it is confidence.
He is, and he's 20 years old. He's only played in 26 of the Spurs' 71 games this year, so he doesn't have a lot of NBA experience, but still, when it comes to crunch time, Blake Wesley is confident, and he wants to take the shot. And Steve Lutz was introduced as the Hilltoppers' new head coach today. Coming up.
2.5 years ago, a 17-year-old teen from San Antonio went on a bike ride and never made it back home.
I will never get Sebastian back, and 25 years that this individual will serve in the adult prison will never be enough for me.
Now the mother of Sebastian, Eduardo Carpio, is fighting for justice. Tomorrow on GMSA, a preview of the newest Texas crime story. Be sure and tune in starting at 4:30.
And head coach Steve Lutz.
Steve Lutz got a standing ovation at his Western Kentucky introductory presser in big board sports. The Spurs gave up 83 points in the first half to the Hawks yesterday and then held them to 35 second-half points to help SA come back to win 126-118. Devin and Keldon were asked, what did Pop say at halftime when they trailed 83-61? Because whatever he said worked, and they responded with choice words. Pop's been known to do that for sure, so it certainly makes sense. 20-year-old rookie Blake Wesley stepped up big time in the fourth quarter, scoring 5 straight points to put the Spurs on top for good. Wesley is just doing what the vets always encourage him to do.
He's confident. He's confident. We instill confidence into everybody. You know, when we're going, they're telling us to keep shooting, and when they're going, we tell them the same thing. So at the end of the day, you know, we're a young team, and we all got to feed off each other, and that's what we did tonight.
Devin and Keldon each scored 29 points last night to lead all scorers. Hawks guard DeJounte Murray, who played in SA for the first time since he was traded in June, said it's great to see his 2 former teammates excelling on the court.
I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. Him and Keldon, puts in a lot of work. And, those are two young guys who really want to get better and be better. So, for me, trying to stay, as a competitor and not more of a fan when we're playing. But it's still like a wow, just to see them. And, like they said, they're thankful just, for me showing them the way, always being there for them, whether I was there or here where I'm at today. And, like I said, just, I told them to continue to keep going, stay hungry, and it will get better for them.
Spurs will now play 4 straight on the road. First up, the Pelicans tomorrow night at 7 at the Smoothie King Center. And here's Steve Lutz getting his second standing ovation of the day after he was officially introduced as the 16th men's head basketball coach at Western Kentucky. The San Antonio native and East Central grad is coming off awesome back-to-back seasons with Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He led the Islanders to 2 straight Southland Conference championships and consecutive trips to the men's NCAA tournament in his only 2 seasons there. And now he wants to get the Hilltoppers back in the big dance.
I am not shy about what we are here to do. We're here to win games. We're here to win conference championships. We're here to go to the NCAA tournament and win games. And all the while doing that, we're here to do it the right way, and we're here to do it with integrity.
Lutz added that he landed in Corpus with the Islanders on Friday and held the team meeting. Then he called another team meeting Saturday morning to inform the guys he was leaving Corpus for WKU. In women's college basketball, the run is over for the Texas Longhorns. Louisville beat them 73-51 on the Horns' home court in Austin tonight. And Baylor lost to UConn 77-58 to see their run end in the second round. San Antonio FC pushed its unbeaten streak to 13 straight after a 1-1 draw with Loudoun United FC yesterday in Virginia. Loudoun scored first in the 35th minute, taking a 1-0 lead at halftime. San Antonio FC would level the match in the 55th minute thanks to Nacho and his first goal of the season. San Antonio earned a point, but they feel they should have picked up 3.
It's a quiet locker room. We know what it takes to win championships, and that's winning on the road. We did a really good job of that last year, but that was last year. Now this year it's about finding ways to win, finding ways to get points. This is a team that wins, so it feels a bit like a loss.
San Antonio is now 1-0-1 on the season with 4 points. They'll host Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC Saturday night, 7:30 at Toyota Field. UTSA baseball is on a roll after the break. Red hot UTSA baseball swept the 3-game series with Conference USA foe Florida Atlantic this weekend, outscoring the Owls 20-7. The Roadrunners have won 10 in a row, their second longest streak in school history. They're now 18-3 overall and 3-0 in conference. Last season, they advanced to the Conference USA championship game and lost, causing them to miss out on the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. They were hoping to get an at-large bid, but that didn't happen either. So is that something they still think about?
We got a few new guys this year. A lot of our top contributors weren't on the team last year, but a lot of us were. And so those of us that have been here since last year definitely remember that feeling of not quite making it right there at the end when a lot of us feel like we should have. And so especially early in the year, we're definitely keeping that in mind and understanding, hey, it's a long season and hopefully there's a lot more to come.
UTSA junior Caleb Hill was named Conference USA Hitter of the Week with a .615 average in 4 games last week, and UTSA will play at UT RGV tomorrow night at 6:30.
Go Roadrunners.
Absolutely.
Leave nothing to chance.
Nope.
I know that's your motto, Larry.
We'll be right back.
What's the motto with you?
What's the motto?
Tomorrow back to 70, then it's 80 degrees Wednesday all the way through the weekend. We'll have those warmer, more spring-like temperatures back in place, but damp and drizzly right now through tomorrow all the way into the early afternoon, and then we do it again Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. Bit of a breeze, by the way. You'll notice the wind Thursday, then it switches directions, and you'll notice it again on Friday. With that chance of storms Friday morning, we'll keep you updated.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. And that does it for us. Don't forget that Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30 tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Good night.